Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X research and professional physicist. And today I'd like to bring to you another one of my articles. This one is entitled Planet X Effects Leading to the Sun Dying. Now, Planet X is a system of dead or energy-depleted objects, stars, planets, and moons, which are surrounded by large debris fields. The objects come in as comets and deposit large amounts of debris in the sun's corona. This has been happening for thousands of years. The debris is the material which used to be part of the objects, but which it shed or was torn from it by either dead or energy-depleted objects. The outer layers are lost until the core is exposed and the object becomes what I have called a stellar core, surrounded by a debris field, although the term planetary core and moon core would be more appropriate for the small of these objects. And this diagram illustrates what happens, how a living celestial object, be it a star, a planet, or a moon, they only differ in size, turns from this, an atmosphere, internal solid layers, and then a core into this, where the core now is black because it doesn't have enough energy to generate a lot of heat and gravitational energy. And these layers that used to be its outer layers are now a debris field. Both the remaining cores and the pieces of debris are low in energy and will absorb energy from solar system matter. They will draw material from either the sun's nebula clouds or the sun's corona itself or the Earth's atmosphere once they approach the Earth. This causes the captured matter to emit light. Because of the sun's corona filling up with this debris for thousands of years, the sun became so choked with this energy-absorbing matter that its light-emitting corona or atmosphere, which is dependent on electrons, started declining. The current SDO images show an extremely small corona in comparison to what it looked like 7 years ago. And you can see these two images, these are SDO images, which clearly show the decline in the sun's corona. It basically was disappearing within about 7 years. This is actually from 2017. It's about the same in 2018, possibly a bit worse. However, there is reason to believe that these images are much older than the timestamps on them would have us believe. And you may look at article 446 entitled When Did They Find Out That the Sun Was Dying? As there is now overwhelming evidence that the sun is no longer shining at all. And you may look at articles 427, 434, and 458 for more details on that. So this diagram illustrates what became of the sun's corona, filled with stellar core debris, and so it would look somewhat like this. And plus there would be some stellar cores amongst it. You can see some of these smaller stellar cores can closely approach the sun and make gravitational connections. And these are actually the same as solar tornadoes. And they can draw matter from the sun from its liquid layer, the chromosphere, which is equivalent to the Earth's ocean in the case of Earth. The stellar cores themselves will alternate between very short and very long elongated orbits, at times remaining inside the corona for extended periods of time, and the smaller ones will be able to remain stationary with respect to the sun as they make a gravitational vortex connection, as I showed here. And this illustrates the kind of orbits that they follow, and this I worked out from the SDO eclipse season stellar core orbit. An object causes the sun to go dark during what has been named the SDO eclipse season, which is not an eclipse season as I have detailed in many previous articles. But the objects seem to follow a 177 or 178 day orbit and then change over to a 183 or 184 day orbit. So that would be the first long orbit, the second long orbit, and in between it follows a very close orbit for 24 days around the sun, but it's still elliptical, so it will still approach the sun, will go through perihelion once a day. So it orbits the sun once every 24 hours, and once a day it causes the sun to go dark. And that type of orbit would then explain what we observe as the SDO eclipse season. And for more details, you may look at Article 373 entitled Planet X System Orbits. Now, these are the different pieces that Comet Schumacher-Levy 9 broke into. And basically, this comet was not a stellar core because it seemed to have an irregular shape, and also it broke up into several pieces. So most likely a large piece of debris that broke up and was in orbit, probably was part of the debris from one stellar core that came to the sun, possibly a long time ago. And then one of the pieces went into orbit. And as you can see, but this shows what these pieces in the sun's corona would look like, because they absorb material from either the sun's nebular clouds or from the corona, and then the fact that they draw energy from that matter causes then this matter to emit light. And so the objects and the pieces of debris in the sun's corona would look somewhat like this, with this cloud of material around them and emitting light from that cloud. Both the stellar cores and the debris in the sun's corona have been absorbing light or photon gravitational energy and electrons from the sun for thousands of years. And as the amount of debris increased, as absorption increased. The sun kept increasing its energy output, thus increasing the radioactive decay rate in the solar system, and thus accelerating the rate of time flow in the solar system. And you may look at Article 413 entitled The Changing Flow of Time and the Radioactive Decay Rate. As long as the sun has unstable nuclei to fission, it will continue to accelerate its rate of energy generation, and the increasing number of low energy matter around it will continue to absorb this energy through direct contact with the sun, i.e. through heat conduction. Also, the sun will continue to maintain its gravitational field and will thus keep its planets orbiting it. But the fact that the sun's corona, which is dependent and mostly made of electrons, went into decline suggests that the sun was not able to keep up with the loss of electrons which the planet X or comet matter material caused. Stars create matter and thus electrons, and thus generate a stellar wind. But the decline in the sun's corona shows that the sun was ultimately not able to keep up with the loss, and without corona it cannot emit light. You may look at Article 453 entitled The Sun is Now a Dark Star. Thus, the Planet X system has consumed the sun's atmosphere corona and left a huge amount of their debris in its place. It is therefore likely that they will proceed to the next solar layer, the chromosphere, and remove that next. Through their tidal forces, they will cause the sun's surface layers to break up and will draw this matter away from the sun. And so they will consume the sun piece by piece until it ultimately becomes a stellar core. And this is illustrated in this diagram. So these are the many layers in the sun. There's the corona, the chromosphere, which is liquid, and then there are the solid layers, and then eventually the core. And it's exactly the same with a planet. The planet has an atmosphere. The corona was basically the sun's atmosphere. And so the stellar cores removed that, and they, at the same time, they were drawing chromosphere already as well. So it's likely that now the sun has no corona, much less chromosphere, and they will continue to draw the chromosphere until all of it is gone. And then they will continue to cause the surface of the sun, the solid layers, now to break up. They will absorb them. And ultimately, there will be nothing left but the sun's core. And at the same time, they're absorbing all the energy that the sun can generate. and ultimately they will get all of it, and so the sun will turn into a stellar core. As the stellar cores continue to arrive at the sun, they will be drawing material from the sun from deeper and deeper into its layers. But as the sun is no longer able to keep them supplied with large numbers of electrons, they will be approaching other planets in the solar system more and more, and therefore the process the sun has gone through will start happening with the planets. In conclusion, Planet X system stellar cores or comets have over thousands of years been destroying the sun, and will continue to do so as they break up and draw even the sun's inner layers piece by piece. They have thus consumed the sun's corona and stopped it from emitting light, and will continue to slowly consume the sun piece by piece until the sun too turns into a stellar core. They will also affect the sun's planets more and more, and will cause the planets to also be destroyed in a like manner. And these are the references. This is Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X physicist. Thank you for watching.